All right, so I bought this old trailer for 160 bucks. He originally had it listed for 600. So when I talked him down to 160, I thought I made a good deal. I bought all of the lights, winch, jack, and tongue for about another, and the bearing for the tire over here for another 160 bucks. So I'm only into this for 320 bucks, which is good. However, I bought it on Facebook at Marketplace, and sometimes you really do get what you pay for, and sometimes you deal with some jerks. They had all of this rope wrapped around here, and it kind of just seemed innocent, like, you know, we had extra rope, so we wrapped it on our ski. Well, these know why they did that, because apparently they got in a freaking wreck and damaged the front of this trailer. I believe this is galvanized steel, so I can weld it, and steel like this doesn't even cost that much. And in fact, I think I have some steel that I can put on here, but this is not what I thought I was getting. I mean, that's just devious. He had all this rope wrapped around here so you couldn't see it, and I also purchased it at nighttime. So that's just wrong. But anyway, I'm gonna rip off this sticker. We're gonna side grind a nice little pattern out of here in order to have something decent to weld to. And this project just got a little bit bigger and more complicated, but learning experience, I guess, for me and for you. So stick with me. We'll probably have to make that its own video. And as we pull off this rope, you can see the damage just keeps getting worse and worse. And even on the inside here, you can see it, which was completely hidden because he had this rope wrapped all the way over to here. So completely devious. He totally knew that this whole, I don't know what you call this, cross member bar needs to come out, needs to be re-welded in with the new one. And obviously that's a whole hell of a lot of headache. Had I known this, I absolutely would not have bought this trailer even for 160 bucks. I was even on the fence that night, standing here looking at the things that I have to replace between this sort of stuff. And I was like, no, man, I don't think, you know, he was trying to get me down to 200. I said, no, I'm not paying any more than 140. And he said, all right, well, meet me at 160. And I really thought I kind of had a deal or a bargain at that point, because I knew with $160 for the parts and $160 for the trailer with the title, I'd be pretty okay off with, you know, maybe 300, 350 into it. Really, the title was kind of what started to sell me, is because if you know anybody who has a Sea-Doo trailer or a boat trailer, the title seemed to get lost, and everybody keeps the title for the boat, or excuse me, the Sea-Doo, and, you know, registration for the boat and all that, but everybody forgets about the title. Anyway, so we've got the lights done. The next step is to get this hub off and replaced. All right, so now that all the rope is completely removed, you can see that this guy was a huge jerk, for lack of inappropriate words, I guess. We can call him a lot of things, because this is just awful damage. Obviously, terrible structural integrity of this trailer now, which I wanted to put a brand new jet ski on. The only good thing I can say is that when you come back here, these welds still look really well, and the welds back there look good. So this 2/3 of the trailer is in good shape, but this arm to this arm is going to be a pretty important arm, because you're not going to be able to pull this thing with only one arm. So I'm going to try and simplify this into 4 big squares, I guess, or 3 squares. So I'm going to cut along the top here a very large rectangle, because you can see the damage goes all the way out to here. Don't even have to cut the bottom. And place a square of sheet metal that goes in front of that, and then weld that to what's left at the top. Obviously over here it needs to be cut out, so I'll cut out a small little triangle, it looks like, of the front, weld that in. And once I get the side off, I'll be able to see the bottom. It looks like there's going to be a very large piece that's going to have to go on the bottom as well. And then even on this side, we're going to need another square rectangle looking piece to slide up in there. It's going to take quite a bit to weld this in place, and get it cleaned up as far as grinding, and I am not looking forward to it. However, either I have a $300, I don't even know, piece of crap that can't sell to anybody, or I need to fix it. So I'm gonna fix it, because we got this part looking good now. We just got to get the rest of it looking good. So if you're wondering who would deceptively do something like this, well, it's this guy. If you want to go ahead and block him right now on Facebook so you don't accidentally buy something from him, go ahead. If you know him, maybe you can tell him how deceitful this was. Alright, so day 2 of this project. We've got both our side grinders, our protective equipment, and we're going to get to cracking on this and see if we can make some progress cutting this old junk off and get some new steel on here. So it didn't even cut the bottom, but you can see there's nothing supporting it down there either. All right, we have just cut out this disgusting piece of metal, and we can see that the metal that's left is still also disgusting. So I may try and come back even further. It's not good to have all this rust in here, because rust is like, well, they call it cancer because it keeps on eating and eating. So we need to really get ahead of it and then spray somewhere along the line with some Rust-Oleum, something to keep it from rusting any further. As far as this line goes, I think I'm going to clean up all this part here and even take the bottom out of here, but I'm going to leave this here just so I know exactly how long this trailer was, now that there's no I guess nothing holding it except for that weld there. I decided to stop at the hardware store and buy a piece of 1/8 inch thick steel, and this is going to be much easier to cut. Well, I don't know why I did that. This is going to be much easier to cut, and then when I go to weld it in, since it's about the same thickness as this one here, when I can grind this nice and smooth, and hopefully nobody will realize that this has been refabbed. Don't worry, I'm going to do a great job. It's going to be super solid, and in fact, I'm going to do such a great job that I'm willing to put my own brand new jet ski on this trailer. So stay tuned for, I don't know, first trailer home of our jet ski. And other than that, I'm going to do a little fabrication. You'll see a little bit of that process.